Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel for another video, and this one is a bit of a surprise. I'm out here actually working on the Integra. Let's just go over what went right, what went wrong. The motor going in, obviously that went right. Everything was fine. There was a few like mishaps here and there. Removed the ABS, rerouted to a new prop valve and everything like that. Brakes work fine. Got the cross member back in because that was an issue. I tried driving the car. I kept saying it felt all weird in the front, all shaky. And then I realized I didn't have the cross member in. So that's in, that's all tight. The car was driving a lot better. I figured out the wiring for the fan. That was working. Everything was working fine. And then, I don't know, it shut off one day. Well, I shut the car off and then it wouldn't turn back on. You guys seen in the other video the damage that happened from a certain someone going into the garage without opening the door. But that's fine. I have like another fender for that. I might be able to just pop that dent out. It's not that serious. But yeah, so I came out here one day and started the car up. She started beautiful. Started right up, no issues. Idling, everything was fine. But when I turned the car off, it just didn't start back up again. So now, you know, I come into the car. I got a lot of stuff going on in here, but let me find the right key because there's two Integras. Pretty much get in. This thing is all dirty now too. Get in here. There's not even a click. You just hear the click from the relay, but not like that click from the starter. So I'm pretty sure, well, I can't say I'm pretty sure, I'm almost pretty sure that it's the starter not getting any power because it's not engaging at all. You don't hear a click, nothing. And this was the starter that I took apart and cleaned and it was fine. But I'm gonna pull it, test it, because I don't want to test it inside the car. I'd rather pull it just in case, so that if it does need a new one, I can just pop the new one on. I just want to get it out of the way. So I'm going to pull that now. I'm going to set this camera up on a time lapse so that you guys can, I guess, view the removal of this starter. And then I'm going to go into the garage where it's dry and safe and test it, make sure it's working properly. If not, I'm going to have to run to AutoZone, order up a new starter, and then she should be fine. I do have a ton of parts to go on this thing, but I want to wait until she's running right. You know, she's registered. I just want her to be running right. There's, you know, no point to go through the hassle of going to DMV and doing all this stuff if she's not even going to pass inspection. So let me get that starter out and then we'll get right back to your scheduled program. All right, so as you can see, we got the starter off. Now I'm going to bring that in the garage, sit it on the workbench, and then collect the tools I need to test it and see where we are from there. So let me do that and I'll get right back to the video. All right guys, so I'm back in the garage. I got the automatic starter charger set up and I have my starter on the workbench. So what you want to do, this is going to be kind of like a tutorial of how to test the starters. What you want to do is you want to take your negative ground and you want to put that on the body of the starter and then hook up your power to a screwdriver. Now on here, that's where the black wire goes, the negative terminal. That's where it goes inside the car. Like once you have it installed and you put that little wire that slips on over this, you want to take the screwdriver and touch the power to that. And what should happen is the starter, the actual piece that engages, it should cause it to pop out like that. So that works. When I first came and I tested it, it wasn't popping out. And it's a common problem for these old starters to get seized because, you know, they're sitting, they're not being used, and they get seized. Even though it's getting power, it's stuck. So sometimes you can come in here and, you know, tap around and then it'll start, or sometimes they say tap your starter and it starts up. Tapping it doesn't really, it's not doing a significant thing where people are like, I'm just going to carry a hammer with me. What tapping it does is it frees up if it's seized. That's really what it does. If it's seized, if that's not popping out, it just tapping it causes it to move around. That instant shock, that vibration can help it unseize, and then it makes it easier to start. That's not a permanent fix. After a while, it will stop starting from being tapped, and then you'll find yourself stranded in the middle of the road somewhere. So, like I said, you touch the back of this wire with the positive and it pops out, and then if you touch the top screw, it should cause it to spin. This starter is perfectly fine. I'm going to install it back in the car, hook it up. I'm going to clean up the ground and clean up the power wire as well. The power wire, I did check that with the multimeter. It is reading 12 volts. I think it was like 12.5 volts, which is exactly what the battery's at. So it's getting the direct power that it needs. I think it was just seized. This is something stupid that I should have done a long time ago. I am going to go ahead and buy another starter, probably an aftermarket one, because why not? And I think I'm going to, this is the battery that came with the car. It's a Duralast. It's a good battery. I charged the battery and it's still holding the perfect, you know, it's still holding like 12, 13 volts. So I'm going to install that battery in the trunk just because I would like to, I want to have two batteries in the car just in case, you know, you never know. You know, maybe one day I want to wire up speakers or something and then I don't have to cross that bridge. I also, down the line, I think I'm going to get an aftermarket alternator, like just more of a high performance alternator, because I am going to be turboing this car and I just don't want to deal with little issues happening down the line that are like power wise. I want to have the optimal power that I can have. So 2 batteries, upgraded starter, and upgraded alternator is the way I'm going to go. So I'm going to get this installed back into the car and hopefully we can get a startup going. So I'll jump right back in after it's fully installed and everything's wired up, and then we'll see if this car will start up today. Alright guys, everything's all hooked back up. We got the positive and negative on, positive and negative over there, and let's cross our fingers and hope she starts up. If she doesn't, Gershaw, here we come. No, I'm just playing. But I hope she does start up because it's been a while since I heard my girl. Alright, clutch in. Nope. Alright, so it wasn't that. Now it's time to assess yet another problem. Alright, so the starter's getting power. The starter should be starting. If it's not getting power there, then maybe it's a fuse or the relay. So I'm going to check the fuses in the relay and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, you guys are not going to believe this at all. I mean, you probably will. This wire right here was disconnected, you see? Completely disconnected. And I'm like routing wires and I'm looking and I noticed somewhere all the way over there connected by the starter there's a thick black with white stripe, but I seen it connected over there, but I mean, that doesn't mean anything. So I literally put these two together like this, and to my surprise, because obviously I'm an idiot, Like, you gotta be kidding me. A simple wire I clipped. That wire I clipped when I was removing the alarm that did not work. I clipped that wire. So I'm just gonna go and get one of my little connectors. I'm gonna expose more of the wire, connect them together, and then we should be going for a test drive. So let me connect that wire and then I will be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I got that wire crimped back together with an adapter. I'm gonna go ahead and fire her up again and let her idle. If I could get in here with the camera. Alright. I'm gonna climb out. To think that it was something that simple, and I was going crazy trying to figure out what the problem was, and now she purrs like a kitten once again. I haven't put any gas in her since it was warm out, so, and from cranking it over and over and over, I think she's just flooded. So I'm gonna let her run for a while, and until the fan cuts on, and then once the fan cuts on, then I'll shut her off. But to think I did all of that, like I pulled the starter, tested the starter, I put a new fuse box in out of the old car. This is the fuse box that came in the car. I put the fuse box from the old car. I was looking around with the wiring with the CDI, and then literally just today, I see that wire disconnected and temporarily put them together, and she fires right up. So yeah, maybe later today I can give her a little test drive around the block. I gotta definitely put some air in the tires because that one was fine, but I know one of them was extremely, not extreme, but really low. This one right there. So yeah, so I'll be able to take you guys on board. I'm probably gonna use the GoPro, and I'll definitely throw my plate on there just so I don't get in trouble, even though I don't have a license, but at least they'll know the car is registered to me. So yeah, once it's not so shitty out, I'll come out, give her a bath, pull this fender, get that all fixed up. I still gotta fix the other rim, and then yeah, after that it should be inspection time. I have a friend who works in a shop, so he's gonna come and make sure it's gonna pass inspection first. This is a 93, it's already won, it just needs to pass safety. And once that's done, gotta run down to DMV. I got the money to pay off everything all in one shot. I should be on the road. And then once she's going good for about like a month and I'm not seeing any issues, then maybe we'll go turbo, maybe. But thanks again for watching, guys, and for all of those who were subscribed initially for the Integra content. I'm sorry it took so long, and if I would have been on par with my channel, up to par with my channel like I was supposed to be, I would have found this stupid problem so long ago. But I mean, I'm glad I found it now and I didn't have to go and buy any parts. It was just literally clipping a wire. So guys, just make sure you pay attention to your wiring. Like putting the motor in this car, all of that stuff was like extremely easy. The hardest part of putting this car together for me was the wiring. And as you can see, the wiring is still an issue. So I hope that that's all squared away, and there's definitely more videos to come in the future. I'm gonna clean this car out, probably get the once I know for sure she's gonna start up every time, then I'm going to get my little ramps or jacks, pop her up. I definitely gotta do an oil change and change the filter. I want to put my radiator, I have like the little half-size radiator with the fan to go in, and yeah, now that she's running, I'm extremely excited because like it wasn't running, it like wasn't starting, it wasn't cranking. I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna have to, I thought I was gonna have to go to the moon and back to get this thing running, and it was as simple as a wire that was disconnected when I was removing the alarm system. And now she's perfect, and that's why I was confused, because I'm like, she runs perfectly fine. How did she go from running perfectly fine to not starting at all? And it was a clipped wire, and my guess is the wire was so close that the one day that I came out and she started up, it was because I kicked it, and it probably touched the same way you guys see me put it together by hand and it started up. I think that's the same thing that happened, and then one day I came in and kicked it, and then it wasn't starting at all. So thanks again for watching, guys. There will be a lot more videos coming up of this thing. Hopefully later on today I can record doing a little test drive around the block, and hopefully she performs well doing that. And then yeah, now I can start throwing the new parts at her. I can start getting her all cleaned up. The good weather is coming. I mean, it's shitty out now, but it feels good. My compressor is, you know, starting up without me having to manually heat it up. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys like this video or found it at all useful, inspiring, anything, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment in the comment section. I'm pretty sure those comments are going to be, hey Montaigne, you're an idiot. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next videos to come.